But if you want the stream, we're at KBLA 1580 broadcasting right now, right now, right now. And our week is off to an incredible start because live with me in the studio is an iconic member of our community. She is a registered nurse, author. She's also a publisher of other authors, the producer, creator of Black Writers on Tour, and she's much, much more, a small business owner. Rosie Milligan, Dr. Rosie Milligan, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique.
You know, I said it's going to be on this week.
You better know it.
I never, ever have seen Rosie Milligan calm and quiet. Calm. I should say you have calm, but you always got something to say and something going on.
Absolutely. That's who I am. I was created to do that. Stir up the pot, but get it done. Talk and walk.
I mean, do you do aerobics, yoga? Do you eat wheatgrass, barley? Like, how do you stay so energetic? Ever since I've been knowing you, you've been like this.
I've just always been that way. Ex-farm girl. That's what we do. We know about work. We get it done.
Yes, indeed. Well, congratulations on another successful Black Writers on Tour.
It was absolutely awesome, Dominique. We had people from across the country, and it was just a new moment, a new movement. I think that people now really got the memo. I'm looking at how Black people are relating, how they're coming together, understand the power of collaboration. And one thing, they came out of that coma. A lot of them have been sleeping in a coma. It was like, ooh, wow. So I'm excited. A lot of people feeling very, pessimistic. I'm very optimistic because sometimes it takes a slap across the head to make folks get up out the bed and do what they're supposed to do. And we got that slap. And there's some people rising up to the occasion now.
Okay, I feel like we've had a number of slaps. But I'm glad to hear you optimistic.
I am.
Because you haven't always been that way.
I am.
Yeah. So aside from the fact that you feel like people are waking up and getting the memo, how do you see that manifesting?
I see it manifesting because I see people now who are willing to collaborate. And one of the greatest ills that we have had among our race, our people, is people want individuality, want to have their own thing. I got to have my own church, even though I don't have 2 members. I have to have my own beauty shop. And there's 3 on the same block, and they all say, that they need somebody to come in and fill those slots. So I'm looking at that. Now I'm looking at people trying to come together, say, can we merge? Can we collaborate? Because we'll never get where we're trying to go. With everybody having their own thing, we're going to have to come together. Like I was telling some contractors with all this bill and everything that's going to happen after the fire, you all need to collaborate, come together where you can take big jobs. So I think we got the memo, Dominique. I see a change. I see people doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and honestly, in some sense, you could have your own thing if you're willing to collaborate with someone else who has their own thing.
Exactly.
Right? A consortium,
you don't have to give up yours, but you all can come together on certain projects.
Yeah, absolutely. I should have mentioned that hour 3 we're going to have another. It must be Moguls and Legends Monday. Demetrius Meach Ship is joining us. Meach is a producer who worked with Bobby Brown, Tupac, still in the business doing his thing. He's a musician and another iconic Angelino. So that will be a rare and interesting convo, just like this one. But it feels that, everybody does still want their own thing. And our entrepreneurship is one of the things that has gotten us through some of the hard times. You're just saying team up more or be on the same page? Because I know you're an entrepreneur. You support other entrepreneurs.
Die hard. I support entrepreneurs. I'm saying come together. Like right now, Dominique, I own the business, My Tech Academy, which is a technology and business platform to really, because my thing is about business, legacy, generational wealth, and Black male-female relationship. That's what I hold true to, and I know how to all intertwine and work together. So I know with the AI movement, and schools and with the executive orders to really to put it into schools, we're coming together with someone from Tennessee, someone from another state, because we know we must take our lead in this movement, because number one, it's necessary, and number two, there's money going to be put in place for it. So neither one of us could reach the nation by ourselves. So we're coming together. I'm not going to be left out, baby. I'm going to rock with it, okay? Don't play me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, and I pity the fool who tries it, but at the same time, how much of, and Miles and I talk about this all the time, how much of the whole AI thing is really hype? It's giving Y2K. I know that it's already in everything. We already using, I don't want to say Siri because she's going to start talking on the air while I'm trying to do my show. We already using a lot of AI. You can't even do a Google search now without AI popping up. But on the other hand, right now it doesn't seem that sophisticated, really, compared to what the hype is around what it can do. It's all like super high-powered chatbot search engine type stuff.
I don't think it's really hype, but it's here to stay. It's not going into place, and I hope and pray that African American Black folks, Negroes, would embrace it. Don't do the same thing we did with technology. Dominique, I witnessed.
You're talking about the internet, the whole digital divide.
The whole technology. We lag behind. Let's wait and see.
The crazy thing is we're way out in front as consumers, but we're lagging behind as entrepreneurs in the space.
Exactly. And it's important. It's important because when we look at this, the three big things that have impacted our community, I call it the big three: COVID-19, gentrification, and AI is actually burying Black business and Black people alive. I'm telling you now, during COVID, look at all the different businesses.
A lot of businesses went out of
to
business,
never return.
But a whole bunch of new businesses also started up.
Yes, a lot of them started up. I'm glad you say that. They started up by default. That's what I call default business. Default and defunk. These are people who many had never starting business. Wasn't a dream, but default, because they had to make a living for their family and their children. They had never taken business courses. They had not worked side by side with someone in the business they're in. So we can no longer continue to have these surviving business. We have to have thriving business. That's generational wealth. Why would your child want to inherit a business that's merely surviving? They don't want it. They don't want no parts of it. They don't see you taking a vacation. They see you hiding your car. They see your house note behind, your shoes running over. Why do they want to inherit your business? We have to have profitable business, and we're going to have to get into technology.
Yeah. Well, hopefully a lot of folks are. A lot happened over the weekend after I got off the air on Friday, and I'll talk about this more next hour because I don't want to suck up Dr. Rosie Milligan's time, but I know some are wondering, will I address it? Yes, my brother Ras Baraka, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, was taken into custody by ICE agents. They claimed he was trespassing on a private prison facility that is being used to house migrants. But that facility is actually a private prison. It is not it's not federally owned property, and it is in violation of city laws and permitting regulations. So my brother, as the mayor of that city, has been going there. He went there to greet the Congress members who were doing their due diligence and inspecting, and was taken into custody. You're talking about a Black man, an American citizen, who also happens to be the mayor of his city, snatched up by ICE. What is happening in America? Just wanted to get your reaction to that story.
Oh, my God. That is so ridiculous. It is so much happening that we all need to be aware that none of us is safe. I don't care where you are, the way this movement is going, anything can happen, and who cries for you. And if you want to cry out, what do? How can you help? It's moving too fast. It's like the pace of lightning.
Yeah. So the good thing, Dr. Milligan, is that the community did come out
Mm-hmm.
in mass. Mm-hmm. The Democratic Party surprised me. They came out and a judge ordered his immediate release. It was an emergency hearing in the middle of the night on Friday after he'd been in custody all day. So he's now out.
Well, Dominique,
But Homeland Security is tweeting at him. How petty is this country right now, Dr. Milligan? An entire Homeland Security department is tweeting at my brother, the mayor, making accusations towards him.
Well, you know what? I believe in many scriptures in the Bible where it said all things work together for good. It couldn't have happened to anybody better than him because he had the support. He got the people to rally around him. He got people to understand that you can do something about what is coming down from this administration. So you know what? That was a God movement.
Well, I mean, it was a scary thing for my family. We don't. I mean, yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I absolutely do. In fact, one of the Democratic Party accounts on Instagram put out a post today saying that the Trump administration done effed around and made sure everybody in America knows Ras Baraka's name at a time when he's running for governor of New Jersey in a tight race where the primary is June 10th.
Romans 8:28. All things work together for good.
Rosie Milligan is my guest this hour, and you are welcome in 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580, or hop on YouTube and get in the comments section. I'm Dominique DiPrima. She's Rosie Milligan, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
You really about to do it?
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580. And we've got your black.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2025, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-259-4546. That's 800-259-4546. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-259-4546 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative, CYFC, for their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk on Saturday, May 17th at 8 a.m. at Susan Miller Dorsey High School, 3537 Farmdale Avenue in Los Angeles. This community-centered event brings together advocates, supporters, and youth to raise awareness and resources for foster care programs in the greater Los Angeles area. Please register at Eventbrite CYFC 25th Anniversary Walk. Congratulations to the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative on their 25th Annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number because Ray, he's He's going to text it live, and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, the iconic and ever busy Rosie Milligan, Dr. Rosie Milligan, is in the studio. And you have your My Tech Academy. Seems like we do have more tech incubators and businesses than we had, during the 90s and early 2000s when we had such a huge digital divide. I know there's still some discrepancy in access between our community and others. How do you see that at this point?
Well, what motivated me with that, Dominique, during COVID-19, my office worked at least 75% of that time trying to help people to download something from the internet, upload documents. I was just shocked to see how backward, unsavvy that our communities were. And many of them missed out on PPP loans because of this technology. So that's what made me really to start looking at My Tech Academy. And I know people who are seniors, they don't want to go back to school, Dominique, to take a class. So I set up an institution with all our contact training that they could just come and learn what they might just want to know how to download from the internet to their doc.
Oh my goodness, that's one thing I learned over COVID is a lot of people just don't know how to do anything on their phone except make a call. So why have a supercomputer in your hand if you're not going to use it? You might as well get a flip phone then.
Yeah, they would come sometime and they said, well, just email it and then we'll print it off. And you know what they would say, Dominique? I don't know my password. I said, do you know how to hit forgot? I mean, this has really stagnated our community. So then I figured, you know what, let's do this. My Tech, teach them AI, teach them basic computer, teach them, Zoom conferencing, because there were attorneys that I knew personally, I'm not going to call any name, who threw in the towel because they had to upload their information to the court electronic. They just got quit. There was teachers who walked out of teaching. There was nurses who walked out of the field, Dominique. I'm telling you what I know, 'cause I'm in the trenches and I see this.
I'll say this. I saw it with the teachers because my child and his friends were laughing at the teachers not knowing how to utilize the technology to teach the class.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're over here playing games on the computer. So I have to be the hall monitor, the principal, the lunch lady, and the security. Like, why is there a card game on your computer right now? Why are you not listening to the teacher? Because the teacher don't know what they're doing. Ha, 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 ha.
No, so it's a whole new move, so I want to make sure business is my top priority because business create jobs.
So what happens if people are needing help now? Because it's not over. I'm to your point.
No, it's not.
And even filing your taxes now, or getting other business opportunities. Some of the fire recovery efforts, you need to be able to navigate a computer.
That's why I was concerned about some of the fire victims, hoping that they were able to get everything in on time to benefit, due to lack of computer literacy. It's really so important. So my focus, Dominique, is really business building, legacy, and generational wealth. That's really what I stand for, because that's where we're in the ditch. So, with the business format, as I mentioned, we have too many business by default. They have no training. I have people jumping in. Like I do a class with teaching people how to start and run their LLCs and the importance of, LLC when it comes to liability, because there are people who are jumping up into this. They don't know anything about it, Dominique. They don't even know they got to pay the $800 a year, to state franchise. They go, well, Dr. Milligan, I didn't make any money. I didn't really do anything. But they don't care whether you made money or not. If you have that LLC, you have to pay. So we just got to be business smart to stay in business. I'm tired of these struggling businesses.
It amazes me how, people want an LLC and don't realize that it's not free.
Right.
And if you're not at a certain level, it might not make sense. But then again, to your point, it does offer protection if you are at a certain level.
If you're at a certain level, if you own a property, if you plan on owning something, you don't want having a liability from a business where they can come after your house, your bank account, everything that you have. So you have to think about, when is it right for you and when is it? So in other words, I want to make sure our people have the right information when they go into business, how to run this business profitable. And I own 3 different businesses, and they're all successful. And one thing, Dominique, I'm tired of people talking about, jack of all trade and master of nothing. I defy that in every essence, because I have mastered everything I put my hand to. And I don't want young people to listen to this old stagnated information about find your niche and fill it. What when technology put your niche out, then what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, you're going to have to pivot, I guess. Let's go to Randy calling us from Watts. Good morning, Randy. Randy,
how
you
we
there?
doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Yes, doing good. And I know your dad standing. The ancestors are proud of your brother. Stood his ground. I saw it.
Yeah, he did. Well, it's like my other brother, Obalaji, said, we were raised for this. It's not ideal, but we were raised for this.
What I wanted to talk to her about was the fact that she said she's a farm girl. And I don't know if all of enough of us are aware. There's something like 54 to 60 Africano white farmers flying in the United States this morning.
Yeah, we talked about it last week on the show. Mm-hmm. The first 50.
Now how we gonna do this, and we can't get our black farmers a doggone tractor plow, not just a plow.
Y'all shouldn't have voted for Trump. Y'all shouldn't have voted for Trump. Y'all thought he was going to give you advantages, and now he's importing racists from South Africa because we don't have enough of our own.
Speaking of farms too, Dominique, Dr. Relaford, Dr. Relaford.
Of course, yeah.
He has one of the largest farms in the county of L.A., over 250 acres.
Yeah.
And coming up, they're going to have farmers coming from across the country, a farmer symposium. So we just have to be in the know. That's
okay,
all.
but to Randy's point, there are, apartheid, white Afrikaners, which are Dutch people, that, are coming as so-called refugees because he claims, he being Musk and he's influenced Trump, that they're being discriminated against in South Africa, which is pure BS. So how are we meant to respond to that?
Well, what we need to do is focus on, let me tell you something. Black folks, stop focusing on the White House and focus on your black house. That's what's on fire. Black folks, Dominique, own so much land in this country, you would be surprised. Because when I do that trust, I see 50 acre, 150 acre. This is time for us to realize how important farming is and to really buy up some of that land, or for them to lease some land, or for them to teach their children the value of land. Because many of their children say, I'm not going back to Mississippi. I don't even know where the land is. So when these people die off, I don't know whose hand all this land is going to fall into, but black folks own a lot of land in this country.
Even though it's
we
down.
We owned a lot of land.
We own still. We own. I'm telling you what I know. We own. I know people owning 560 acres, 40 acres all over this country. I see it every day. We own lots of land, but we're not doing anything with it.
Well, I mean, I think you're both right. I think that I've seen data, I can't remember off the top of my head, that we've lost something like 80% of the land that we had right after the Reconstruction period. But you're saying we still have a lot.
Plenty, we have a lot.
Yeah, so what's your bottom line, Randy? Oh, actually, hold that thought. We got news, traffic, and sports, and we continue our conversation with Rosie Milligan on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty.
and 2 additional verdicts echoed the same following the acquittals in a black man, Tyree Nichols' death. Now Nichols' family is moving forward with a $550 million civil lawsuit against the city of Memphis, the police chief, and 5 officers. The trial is set for July 2026, and attorneys say it's about accountability. The Department of Justice is investigating Black New York Attorney General Letitia James for alleged mortgage fraud following a request from the Federal Housing Finance Agency. James has led lawsuits against both Trump administrations and won a case last year over falsified business records. And Golden State's Draymond Green is getting a warning letter from the NBA after picking up his 5th technical foul of the playoffs. He spoke out against being labeled a, quote, angry black man, end quote, for his intensity on the court. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are back in first place in the NL West after an 8-1 win Sunday at Arizona. The win capped a 6-4 road trip. The Dodgers lead San Diego by a game. NBA playoff action resumes tonight with 2 Game 4s. Boston is at New York. The Knicks have a 2-1 lead in the best of 7. Golden State is at home against Minnesota. Minnesota is up 2-1. Golden State guard Steph Curry will be evaluated Wednesday to see where he is in his recovery from a strained hamstring. Howard and Jackson State earned automatic bids to the NCAA women's softball tournament. Howard won the MEAC championship. Jackson State claimed the SWAC title. Both HBCU teams will be number 4 seeds in their regional. Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski said Shedeur Sanders did nice work during the team's minicamp for rookies. The camp ended Sunday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
When you turn to the Employment Development Department, we'll help you get there. Whether it's support for you and your family while you find a new job, or the resources to focus on your recovery after illness or injury, we can help you move forward. From support while you bond with your newborn, to helping serve your family while your partner serves our country. Your EDD. We'll help you get there. For more information, visit edd.ca.gov.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
KBLA Talk 1580 and the California Black Chamber of Commerce invite you to the Small Business Development Workshop, How to Do Business with California Government, on Thursday, May 15th at Victory Park in Pasadena, 2575 Paloma Street. Get certified and register as a new bidder. Sell products and services to the state. Learn about pre-bid events and more, and it's all free. All you have to do is sign up at www.calbcc.org. That's www.calbcc.org. Registration for the Small Business Development Workshop, How to Do Business with California Government, begins at 9 a.m. and the workshop concludes at 1 p.m. on Thursday, May 15th at Victory Park in Pasadena, 2575 Paloma Street. This is a community call to action from the California Black Chamber of Commerce and KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, Dr. Rosie Milligan is here, and as usual, we're talking about wealth building, business, and also relationships. But we're gonna have to have you come back. Maybe you can do our Messy Monday.
That
We'll
would
do
be
that
awesome.
the third Monday of the month and talk about situationships and the like. But Randy from Watts was speaking on the land ownership or lack thereof, black farmers, and the way that this administration has defunded some of the programs through the U.S. AID program that help support farmers, not just black farmers, but American farmers, and how they are going away under this administration thanks to the richest man in the world, who's also importing at least 50 so far of his apartheid-era white farmers as of today. Randy, did you want to land for me?
Yeah, the reality of it is I hope as a nation, those of us that are entrepreneurs, whether you're in agriculture or transportation, hold their feet to the fire, and if they can't do no better, we might have to have a fire. Because, you got Allensworth up there that's been done for 100 years. We know what happened to Allensworth. We know what happened to Tulsa. We know what happened to Rosewood. It's about time we stop. Because this don't make no sense.
Well, can I ask him a question?
Yeah, real quick, because, the clock is burning here. Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Milligan.
Allensworth, why haven't we collaborated and got together and rebuilt that town? What is our responsibility? What should we be doing?
But really, okay, well, let's let Randy answer.
I was up there about a month ago, and it's now State Park, and I looked there, and I pulled up and just and got out and walked. When you leave the front gate, just adjacent to the church, the area drops down to the point that where, from what I could see, we could have an 18-foot lake there and a campground. The campground's already there.
Okay, but here's the thing.
But nobody is
But
doing
who wants
anything.
to go live there? Like, that's in the middle of nowhere. If we're being real.
No,
I'm not going to go live in Allensworth. Are you?
It's not that far from Bakersfield. We need to rebuild.
Bakersfield is in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to go live there either. No shade. I love my people wherever you are. But come on now. You're asking people that live in L.A. to move out to Bakersfield to rebuild a town in the middle of nowhere?
Why can't they? My daughter lives in Bakersfield. I know a lot of people in
sorry
Bakersfield.
to your daughter, but I'm not moving there.
I may take y'all back to Mississippi. I got some land back there. I'm getting ready to build on.
Well, look, okay, let's go.
Okay.
Do I get 40 acres?
I'll give you about 80.
40 acres and a man.
They used to want a mule. Now they want a man.
What am I going to do with a mule?
Get a John Deere. Get a John Deere there, Dominique.
That's not a man. That's a tractor.
At least you can get some eggs that won't cost you arm and a leg. Come on, girl.
Look, if the conditions were right, I might move to Mississippi before I go to Allensworth. As long as I'm in California, okay. I'm not disagreeing with the sentiment of it, but we got other priorities. Like, let's rebuild the Mert Park. And we are doing it. We are doing it. Black people are buying the block. We are starting businesses where we own the actual building.
Exactly.
I love to see it.
So we just need to collaborate. Don't try to sit out there and have that building all by yourself. Open up a corporation, sell some shares. Let's make it strong. When people have an equity ownership, then that's when more pride comes, and that's when we win. I can't say that enough. It's not just about you. And many of you who started, your children, you're not training them up. So we talking about legacy building. We talking about building business that will be here when you're gone, when your children gone. That's what I want to see.
All righty. This is kind of international news.
Now. I'm tired of Brooklyn. Tired of poor people. Tired of poverty.
Well, yeah, I agree. I'm not quite sure how rebuilding Allensworth is going to help. And I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. It is a national park, which means technically our tax dollars should be rebuilding it.
Dominique, one day it'll be rebuilt. And our people say, you see what happened? Look what they did. We were calling the other ethnicity who are up there. Just like some of these business that we can't hold. Somebody else walk in, don't look like us, and it flourish. Why? What's wrong with us? That's the picture. It's not the White House, doggone it. It's the Black House.
The
that I'm
forensic
upset
accountant
with.
says, hey, I live in Alpine County and I love it. Yes, I am a landowner. Okay, well, I'm happy for you. I won't be joining you. I'll come visit, but I'm not finna move there. I love L.A. I'm not going to lie.
Never say no.
Never say never.
Never
right?
say no.
If that
This
40 acres comes with the
gentrification
man.
gonna make a whole lot of people want to be there. Okay.
Okay, a couple quick things I do have to run by you. The president, your friend, Randy.
That's Randy's friend.
No, I don't know. I'm just playing. He apparently they're saying that they have reached at least a temporary deal with China to ease up on these tariffs. And the Dow Jones is expected to soar 1,000 points today, 2.5%, because of the de-escalation in this trade tension. They're backing off of the tariffs, I understand, for at least 60 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 60.
And what do you think of that? I mean, because basically what we're talking about is, the potential for things to go, quote unquote, back to normal, but it's been such a roller coaster.
Yeah. They want you to go buy up everything now. It's just a seesaw. It's a mind game. It's an illusion.
Buy everything during the 60 days in case it goes back
during
up
the 60
again.
days, right.
So do you think this is good news though? Do you think that means that, they'll make a long-term deal, or are we still on the erratic roller coaster of, I'm putting on tariffs. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not.
Dominique, the average person is only buying necessity right now. The way the economy is in this country, people trying to buy eggs and butter and food and pay high utility bills, taxes rising. I mean, we have a critical thing that's going on in this country, even with, we talk about Prop 19, but do you realize every year, have you noticed that every year your mortgage note is going up because taxes going up? When will it ever stop? Will it price your kids and your grandkids out of that same home that you have built? Tax can't ever stop. Every year it's a must that the tax go up. Do you realize how this is impacting us? We have a lot of things that we have to think about when we start thinking about the future and the next generation. There's some things we need to be fighting for.
Okay, well, I agree with you, but if you do run out and buy everything, I don't know that that's a solution.
Oh, I'm not going to do that.
Oh,
and I don't suggest that people do that. I suggest that you take your money and start putting it together and buy up some property. That's what you need to do. Don't be buying stuff.
Chinese imports, the tariffs are going down to 30% from 145. It's still a pretty high tariff, 30%. Yeah. And the Chinese, the duties on U.S. imports go down to 10% from 125. Okay, no, they're saying 90 days now. So, but again, that's just 3 months.
Don't change what you've been doing. You're getting on a budget. You see what have happened. They just shift people into a different mindset. When they looked at now, we're saying, well, you know what? I didn't have to have that TV. I didn't have to have that. All things work together for good. A lot of this stuff that's happening right now, if you pay attention, it's going to set you on a path to rise up, because now you're saying, forget it. I don't have to have that. Why do I need to buy that? And that's the point that we should have been at a long time. Stop buying these folks stuff.
This is another, this is national news, but it feels local because of the big footprint that he has in this town with Revolt TV and whatnot. The Diddy trial is supposed to start today for Sean Diddy Combs, a sex trafficking trial. But now there's word, a Deadline is reporting that the federal case may be in jeopardy because the star witness is backing out. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York saying they haven't even reestablished contact with the key witness in that case. And this is victim number 3. That's what they call her. She was pledging to testify. It looks like that may be falling apart right now. And there is a chance that Diddy could just walk.
Well, I think that's something again that black folks, listen up. Don't put a bunch of energy in none of that. Stay to the grind. Are you going to have a place to live for you and your children? Focus on the next generation. Focus on your businesses, and don't play into the media hype.
Yeah, well, right. And what they're saying is that the prosecutors are trying to delay the trial because they don't want to have to declare a mistrial if their key witness doesn't show up. But I can see what you're saying. I was really, I mean, look, we saw the tape with Cassie, and it was terrible. But I was really surprised how many people really piled on Diddy.
And they always do, media. Dominique. When something happened, people come out of the woodwork. Yeah, me too. Everything comes
No, because people defended Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
They defended R. Kelly for some reason. They like his music. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
We defended Michael Jackson. I continue to defend Michael Jackson. He was cleared in a court of law.
Right.
But I feel like people jumped on Diddy in a way that I didn't see the defenders the same way I've seen them in other cases.
Well, some things happen in a political time. You have to look at what's happened in the political society when certain things happen. What do they need to happen? What do they need? Who need to be the whipping boy? Do we need a black person to be what we call the poster boy, the poster girl? We have to understand all that. And that's why we have to not put a lot of energy in that stuff and put energy into building our families and building wealth and relationships.
Building wealth and relationships. That's the formula. I want to, when we come forward, Dr. Milligan, I want to talk to you about that second part, the relationships. I know we won't have too much time to get into it, but I know you got some strong opinions.
I do. Everybody not married need to try to get married. Everybody who married need to try to stay.
Oh, boy. We'll talk about that when we
Yes,
come
we
forward.
will. I ain't playing with you.
KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Rosie Milligan, can I get a waiver? Can I get a waiver from your Everybody Get Married program?
Yeah,
Because I'm not trying to run out and get married.
You can't make it by yourself. I'm
Sign
telling
you.
you.
What? I've been making it.
And don't go shacking.
Okay, it
because when
takes.
that person die, you don't get anything. You get nothing. For all you shackers out there, let me send warning.
Shackers meaning living with
Shacking
someone
up.
without being married.
You get nothing. If that person own a house and make his transition, you get nothing. No.
What about common law marriage? What if we've been shacking for 7 years?
It does. You need to get married, and you need to get married.
I don't want to get
And
married.
if your
Rosie
marriage
Milligan.
is on the rock, go get in the other bedroom. That's that's what people. No, people didn't just divorce back in the day. They really had more sense than we have, and they didn't have a college degree.
Okay, I'm laughing because Judge Maybelline was on this show a couple weeks ago, and she shared a story about how when her and her husband were on the rocks, they went in separate bedrooms because she didn't want to pay him spousal support. So she waited till he found another woman, got himself married, and people were so mad. They're on my Instagram still arguing about it because they're saying, when men have to pay spousal support, no one has any sympathy. But when Judge Maybelline does it, then people have sympathy. But, how are you mad at somebody for trying to keep their money?
I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. But you're not going to have any money. Let me say this again. If you're sitting out there by yourself, most of you will not have any money. It's cute now to jump up and run, but when you get older and you're sitting on that little single Social Security check, just in case Trump don't take that away from you, what you going to do? So 2 small little checks is sure better than nothing. Half of this country, okay, if somebody sells these properties they're in, they cannot pay rent to move in another apartment. Hey, there go Mississippi. I may have a whole 40 acres of seniors there because they will not be able to live here on a Social Security check. Get married. Stay married.
Get married for money, not for love?
For both. Because if you don't have the money, the love going to be out the door anyway. Shoot, they go together, okay?
Ain't nothing going on but the rent?
Well, it's partnership. I don't care if it's just, you need 2 incomes.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing children reared in poverty, Dominique.
But if we're shacking up, we have 2 incomes.
No, there's no commitment. See, when you're shacking up, it's easy for a man or a woman to walk out.
Yeah.
It's not as easy when you're married. So we tired of just walking out. That's the problem now. People walking out.
Yeah.
Okay? And leaving for different reasons. That's why we need to do this relationship. Because somebody asked me, should they leave their husband if he was unfaithful sexually? And I said, well, if he making it a vocation, that's one thing. But if something may have happened, one time, that's totally different. So we need to talk about when to pack up.
So if something happened one time, we forgive him in the name of
because it might be
our partnership, our LLC,
it might
our finances.
It may be a time to communicate and look at what went wrong. That's what happens sometime on the first time. Then it brings the people to the table to have that dialogue about their relationship, about sex. That's the only time.
I mean, to be honest with you, I do agree with that. Because if we say that one partner cheats one time and that ends the whole relationship, that means sex is more important than our kids, more important than our finances, more important than our commitment.
Absolutely. So, Dominique, give me 5. We agreeing on stuff. Y'all see this?
Yeah. Stranger things have happened. But it's not just the Black community. The entire country is moving away from traditional matrimony.
Yes.
And you think that's bad?
I think it is. Because people get hurt. There's too much pain. There's too many scars on people because people find an easy way. See, we like to do stuff easy. I can just walk out. I'm not married to you. There's no obligation. Gone, bye-bye. See, when you make it easy for people, they tend to want to take that easy escape. Life doesn't have to
Divorce is not easy. It's expensive.
It's expensive.
It's expensive and time-consuming.
And if you can't make it, then at least stay in the same house. You take this room and I take this one. Stop all this poverty. That's what I'm sick of.
Okay, so here's another thing we agree on. It must be the stars and the moon are aligned today, Dr. Milligan.
Okay.
I feel like we waste a lot of wealth as Black people on divorce. Even if you are going to get a divorce, can we act grown and amicable? Because we're giving all this money to lawyers.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. Because there's no such thing as a judge can say, well, okay, you can't get this divorce because you didn't do enough to him or her. Anybody go for a divorce, you're going to get it. So what is all the fight about?
Well,
What
they're
is it?
fighting over who the person is sleeping with now. They're fighting over possessions and money. And what I'm saying is if we could, this is weird. I agree with Gwyneth Paltrow on one thing, which is the idea of conscious uncoupling. If you are going to divorce, act like grown people. You were grown enough to lay down together
Right.
and say, I do. Find a way to not squander all your assets to the courts and the lawyers.
I totally, wholeheartedly agree with that. It doesn't make sense. Most people doing it didn't really have enough to be fighting over in the first place. One house. One house, and you behind in the note with that, okay? Ain't paid your tax, and you fighting about who's going to get that. It doesn't make sense. It's time for us to think differently. You have to think from an economic standpoint now. You really do.
Yeah.
You know?
So, for those seeking your consultation, whether it be about, Paul Lee says, don't forget about probate. I know that's a big thing that you do, is help people with wills and trusts, wealth management, estate planning, but also the new Tech Academy. How do they get in touch, get involved, get in class?
Well, they can go to mytechacademy.net. That's mytechacademy.net. Or you can call 323-750-3592. That's 323-750-3592. And don't be afraid of artificial intelligence. AI will not replace you in every aspect, but somebody who knows AI, like me, I'll replace you.
Okay, she's coming for your job. In other words, you might as well surrender. But look, I mean, here's the thing that I realized from one article, which is that just as AI will replace a lot of people's jobs, a lot of people will lose jobs. It also creates jobs, just like the internet took jobs, and it also brought jobs. What was an internet? What was a social media manager or an influencer in the 90s? Those things didn't exist. Now a whole bunch of people are making a living on it. So just as it's taking away, it should also be bringing opportunities, right?
It will. And that's why I want people, don't just see the bad side, don't see the hype. When I hear teachers arguing about kids using, it's the best thing can happen for our kids. Because number one, they come out of school, they can't write. They can't, they'll give you 2 pages and it's all one paragraph. AI, ChatGPT would teach them how to write. Then they will know, oh, this is how it goes. So it's not bad. And I want people to stop making people think it's bad, because our people lag around to God, to the Holy Spirit. Some of y'all waiting on the Holy Spirit to tell y'all to learn technology. You better get up and learn technology. Minister using for their sermon. A lot of these sermons you hear, AI wrote them, okay? Y'all better get with it.
What? The pastor using AI?
Yes.
That sounds like end times.
I don't know.
Look, I saw where AI is now able to replicate itself, which is one of the things that people were afraid of, and even Elon Musk says, not that he's a genius, but he says, well, when AI can take over everything, it will be dangerous. You don't agree?
Yes. The mind, the conscience, AI has no conscience, okay? So consciousness need to be in place for us to have a healthy society.
But if it can actually duplicate itself, and it has no conscience by definition.
Well, is it going to duplicate a man? That's what I want to know.
I don't think so.
Okay, then it haven't reached its peak, okay?
It may never reach its peak. Rosie Milligan, it's always fun to talk with you. Tell folks how to stay in touch, and we got a little less than a minute here.
Yeah, call me at 323-750-3592. If you just want an introduction to artificial intelligence, at least learn what it's about, go to mytechacademy.net. And if you're in business, please go there and check out Creating a Business Plan. That's your GPS for business. That's why a lot of our business failing, Dominique. They don't have a business plan. They just flying at you. All right, let me see your business plan. It's so critical. I wish people could understand the power it's like your blueprint, your map. It's like going to New York looking for a business.
Okay, we're gonna do a whole segment on that. With 2 segments we got to do. Messy Monday and a Wealth Building Wednesday on business plans.
Okay.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming.
Pleasure. You look so good, Dominique.
Thank you. So do you.
Who you been dating? What's going on? What's
More
your
on
love
that
life?
later.
I can tell when the love life is intact.
Okay, next. Time for Mindful Monday, KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty.
And 2 additional verdicts echoed the same following the acquittals in a black man, Tyree Nichols' death. Now Nichols' family is moving forward with a $550 million civil lawsuit against the city of Memphis, the police chief, and 5 officers. The trial is set for July 2026, and attorneys say it's about accountability. The Department of Justice is investigating Black New York Attorney General Letitia James for alleged mortgage fraud following a request from the Federal Housing Finance Agency. James has led lawsuits against both Trump administrations and won a case last year over falsified business records. And Golden State's Draymond Green is getting a warning letter from the NBA after picking up his 5th technical foul of the playoffs. He spoke out against being labeled a, quote, angry black man, end quote, for his intensity on the court. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Are you sick of drying, chlorinated water in your home? At LifeSource, they believe your health, your skin, and your hair deserve better. Enjoy delicious, clean water from every tap with a LifeSource water system. Call 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are back in first place in the NL West after an 8-1 win Sunday at Arizona. The win capped a 6-4 road trip. The Dodgers lead San Diego by a game. NBA playoff action resumes tonight with 2 Game 4s. Boston is at New York. The Knicks have a 2-1 lead in the best of 7. Golden State is at home against Minnesota. Minnesota is up 2-1. Golden State guard Steph Curry will be evaluated Wednesday to see where he is in his recovery from a strained hamstring. Howard and Jackson State earned automatic bids to the NCAA women's softball tournament. Howard won the MEAC championship. Jackson State claimed the SWAC title. Both HBCU teams will be number 4 seeds in their regional. Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski said Shedeur Sanders did nice work during the team's mini camp for rookies. The camp ended Sunday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you missed our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall, the Altadena Eden Fire, 100 days and counting, you missed an...
It's amazing to me how we ignore systemic racism in our community, and as a people, we've apologized for so much, but when will we stop apologizing for what we have paid for? Because the truth of the matter is we paid for this.
You can always count on KBLA Talk 1580 to give it to you straight, no chaser. When you love folk, you tell them the truth. Seeking the truth, speaking the truth. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.